What's up, guys? We have a small conference here. It's a one-man band setup. We got our graphics computers, the rack, and a modular camera tracking system that automatically follows whoever's on stage as they pace around. Let's get into it.
Last time I checked, I'm still hot, real hot. Kept it dope without a pill pop. Bill Cos, steady climbing to the hilltop. Tip top, did it all off of a TikTok. Yeah, last time I checked, I still that guy that did it on my own. Stay independent. For you to get what I'm getting, it will probably take a village. Just give me a minute, turn a snippet to a hit, and now they all want a percentage, but I'm only paying visits. Big dog, hit 'em with thick thumbs and a quick draw. Pit boss, if they ain't playing, they getting kicked off. Jigsaw, I got 'em puzzled, got 'em a bit lost. It's a feeding frenzy, I put the beat in a pig trough.
All right, so let's get into the setup here. So on my left-hand side, this is my control computer. So I have ProPresenter, I have the ATEM software, I have web browsers where I run Companion, check the schedule, things like that. That all happens over here on the control computer. Then I have my two graphic machines in the middle. You might notice these from other videos. These are the headless Macs. The reason I do headless Macs is because I use two outputs from each computer, and this makes PowerPoint very happy. I don't have three screens where PowerPoint is not happy. So with two screens, PowerPoint never gets confused. Canva, Keynote, they all work well. And then I can see them here. So I have all four screens down here, but if I need to enlarge one so I can use it, I can enlarge one here. I can go and load up a new presentation from my schedule and then go right back, open it up, put up presenter view. I can toggle between both screens. Again, two separate computers here. That works really well. And of course, this is just a Stream Deck. This is an output, an aux out from my ATEM switcher. So it works kind of like a KVM. I can put whatever I need up on this screen. Look at my cameras on a really big screen. I think this is like 24 inches, one of the biggest portable monitors I can get my hands on. I'll throw the links to these things in the description below, but I really like this monitor so far. One caveat is it can only handle 59.94 and 60 frames a second. It does not do 29 or 30 frames a second. The multi-view, I can see my cameras, my super source. The Stream Deck's all running Companion. I can switch what's going in preview here, hit cut or auto. I can change what's on the projectors. I can change what's on the downstage monitor. Over here I have the second multi-view. So here I just put the web presenter so I can kind of just make sure I'm on air, everything's good. Of course I can full screen it when I need to. I have my ME2, which controls my projectors. And then I have my outputs, my downstage monitor and my projector here. So if anything happens, I have ways to troubleshoot. On this scope over here, I have HyperDeck, so I can see my record time. I do the exact same thing on both of these, so I know they're getting signal, but I really just monitor the one recorder and assume everything's the exact same on here, SD card, record length, everything. I have audio meters everywhere. I don't like to clutter up this multi-view with them, so I just look over here and check. This rack is a new rack build. It is a flyrack. This is the Fiasco 6U case. And it is heavy. This thing itself is like 60 something pounds, okay? And yes, I did fly with all of this gear here. I put it all in 4 separate cases, a gig kit, and 3 larger cases, one for cameras, one for my tripods and cables, and then one for this rack in particular. So I really like this. I have a patch panel on the back. It is super fast to set up, and that's the point. There's a whole bunch going on in here. I have the SmartView 4K, these are the dual monitors, and I can set them to be scopes as well. So that's one of the reasons I picked this one, is when I am color matching cameras, I can have these be my scopes. They do just take 2 SDI-ins and I can loop them out the back if I need to. So I'm not really using up outputs out of this ATEM, but I do have these routed as separate aux outs, and everything's pretty much a separate aux out in the system. Underneath that, 2 HyperDeck HD Studios. So they're the half rack, so I have a primary and a backup record. That's always important. The ATEM 2ME switcher, self-explanatory. Then down here, this one's new. The IP converter 4x12G power. So this is doing PoE. 1 Ethernet cable to each camera, all comes from here. It can do up to 4 cameras. It powers the camera, gets signal from the camera, sends a return feed to the camera. I can actually do 2 return feeds to the camera, to use the HDMI out if it needed a prompter or confidence monitor or something like that. And the latency is great. No more 2110 latency issues. This thing handles all the clock, the world clock for 2110. That's been really helpful. I did a test back at the studio when I was building this thing just to confirm all that, but brand new. One thing right now, currently, again, brand new product just came out, you have to put the cameras on a beta software in order for the 2110 to work with the 4K models. The 6K model works, but the 4K model, I have to use a beta software on these. But I tested it, it's looking good right now, and I'm very happy with the 2110. Makes setting these up really easy because it's one cable to each camera. On the back of this rack, I have the patch panel. I put my Arduino, my micro stepper, the web presenter in the back, Ethernet in the back. The only reason this laptop's elevated right now is because this thing is putting out a little bit of heat, all the different things in it. So I just wanted some airflow between this laptop and here so hot air could escape out the top. No fans besides the actual fans of the individual Blackmagic units. That is why this laptop is elevated right now. It's a little warm under there, but not super hot. I'm not really worried about it. I just didn't like keeping all the heat inside. Luckily, it's got airflow on the sides and vents all around, so not overly worried about it. One PowerCon cable from the wall into the system powers everything. 3 cameras, a tight, a mid, and a wide shot. 2 tripods. I have the little arms for the 3rd camera over here, so I travel with less gear. I don't ever really touch the wide shot, so that's why it's on the little arm. The mid and the tight I adjust as needed, so they're on the actual tripod heads. This little $350 motor, they sell it on Amazon. It's not like a new unit, it's new to me. 9-pin DB9 cable, and it's got a little stepper motor. And as the stepper motor rotates, this very large wheel pans back and forth. So then I've attached a camera on top of that. That all goes to a micro stepper, which is plugged into an Arduino. Again, I had to figure all this out, build this all from scratch, and the Arduino is getting commands from this software on my laptop. So this is, between me and ChatGPT, coded a Python program that auto tracks the talent as they move around. Now, what if I need to control this when there's no talent on stage? Well, that's where I have this little MIDI controller. Again, I'll put all the links down below, but I can actually rotate the camera. So the Blackmagic camera that we all love the color and look of and has all the Blackmagic ecosystem functionality to control it, I can also now pan it remotely. And you might say, hey, that's not very smooth. Well, I can change with the other knob how much I'm actually moving this motor. So I have all this information down here, and I can now pan this a lot smaller movements or do larger movements. Now, the really cool thing about this, I just needed a way to control it to bounce back and forth between panels, talking, things like that. I didn't want to have to stand here and move the tripod and switch down here. I didn't like standing the entire time. I wanted my cameras nice and high. So that's where this comes from. As people pace around stage, as talent normally does, this thing will track them. And all I have to do is draw a square on the talent and hit track. And the software does the rest. ChatGPT was surprisingly extremely helpful in getting this up in like 3 days. That's all it took. It took me a day to figure out the controller and the Arduino. It took another 3 days for ChatGPT and I to build this program, get it all working. I'm not gonna release it just yet. I have a little more work, a couple bugs to figure out. But if someone's monitoring it, like I am here, I can multitask. It pretty much follows the talent. It's good to go. Occasionally, as someone walks off stage or moves way too fast, it might lose them. That's where I'll just go back to manual control, find them again, circle them, square them up, and then it tracks. So this has been great, very hands-off. I'm very excited and happy with the results here. I have a lot of data that just tells me what's happening, so I know things are working. Visual feedback's very good for me. I had to do a lot of tinkering, making sure with a long-range lens, this thing is very smooth in its movement. Little things like as the talent moves closer to the edge of the frame, I need you to move the camera faster to keep up with them. And as they get closer to the middle of the frame, slow down to center them up, to keep things very smooth. These are the little nuances that I put in this program to make it smooth and make this whole thing work. But I've been very happy. The whole tracking system, Arduino, micro stepper, cable, the motor, we're talking like $600. That's it. And you can mount this to pretty much whatever camera you want. The motor itself is really strong. You might have to tweak it to like handle a larger rig, but this is a 10 pound rig on top of this thing, no problem. I have absolute faith that could handle a 40 pound rig, a 50 pound rig even. Put a much larger camera and lens setup on this and have it auto track. You could have one guy running multiple of these just like PTZs. Now, I did this because I wanted a smaller camera to travel with and I wanted to use my existing cameras. I could go the PTZ route. I would have had to buy the Sony FR7 for 10 to 12 grand. That would be, in my opinion, a good competitor to this. No tilt, so if someone is taller or we're going from sitting to standing, I do have to get up and manually move, raise or lower this guy. But I think that's a small price to pay for the portability and what I need it for, which is mostly tracking. I always cut away to my mid shot if I need to make any adjustments, make the adjustments, and then come back for tracking. So that's the system here. Again, I'm very happy with it. Hope you guys like it. Just wanted to give you a sneak peek of how you can fly and set up all of this gear on site. We have separate audio. In-house AV Encore is running the audio for me. So I'm just handling the video, the live stream, the graphics, sending signal to the screens. On-site AV handles pretty much everything else. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is a one-man band setup. I don't think this is too much for one person to handle because we have automated systems. Having two graphics machines helps me. While one thing's happening, I can prep the next thing for very smooth and seamless transitions. So with all that, thank you guys for watching. See you on the next one.